And start to find your mountain pose. Oh yeah, if you have anything you need to loosen up first, go ahead and feel free to do that. And then come into mountain pose, really grounding through the feet and lining everything up. And then just breathe. Smooth out your breath. So feel really connected to the earth here, like roots are growing out from the bottom of your feet into the earth, holding you secure. And then as you come, breathing up from the earth, lifting through the body, just feel that lightness start to spread. Turn your palms out, open your heart, and just breathe here. And then just letting the breath gently expand and deepen. And taking nice deep exhale. So just a couple of nice deep breaths here. So while we have that energy of the full round moon, it's starting to decrease a little bit, but it's still pretty round. Let's take our breath in circles. So turn your palms up in front of you, about waist height here. And then inhale, draw your arms in a big circle. You flip the hands as feels appropriate to you as you make big circles forward. Inhale, exhale. And one more big circle, and come back to mountain pose. All right, so now let's start our spinal series. So we're going to move into some cats and cows. And we're going to bend and straighten the knees a few times, set the hips back and forward. Just loosen things up, keeping those feet grounded here. Now bring your hands to your thighs, bend at the knees and hips. And arch into cow, round into cat. And just keep going through this familiar movement. Notice everything that happens as you do these. Do you feel it in your feet, your legs, your hips, your shoulders, your neck? Do you feel your hands pressing into your thighs right now? What's going on for you? And then the next time you're rounded into cat, stay here, roll your hands up your legs, and come back to equal standing. So we're going to make sure the feet stay super grounded here as we start to open side body. Palms out, arms up, interlace the fingers. Point your index fingers up, inhale, and we gently tilt to the left. So we're just opening the side body here, so let's keep it gentle as we go back to the right. And we'll sway side to side a few times here. Keep a nice gentle sway, wake up the side body. And now the next time you go over to the left, just keep going until you feel like you've gone far enough. Come on up and head over to the right. Keep going until you feel like you've gone far enough and bring it up. We're going back to the left. Make sure that right foot is grounded and up, back to the right. Make sure that left foot is grounded. And up, we're going back to the left now. Stay here, release the arms long. Keep your right foot grounded as you bring your palms together. Open back up, palms together, open back up, palms together, clasp the fingers, point your index fingers up and tilt to the right. And go as far as you're going with the left foot grounded. Arms wide, palms touch. Arms wide, palms touch. Arms wide, palms touch. One more, arms wide, palms touch. Interlace, point up, inhale, exhale, swan dive. So just swan dive as far as you want to go. It might be pretty high right now. You might be ready for your hands to go lower. It's your swan dive. And then bring your hands to your hips. Come halfway up with a long spine. Take your arms out from your shoulders here. Take your arms by your ears. Press through those feet and super heavy from the waist down, super light from the waist up. Float up. Inhale, exhale, hands down. Let's shake everything out. All right. So now we're ready for some twisting. We're going to take the feet slightly wider than hip width distance. Once again, get a little movement in those knees and hips. Bring your hands to your thighs. Right hand comes up behind you and back to the thigh. Left hand up behind you and back to the thigh. Let's go to the right again. And to the left. And to the right. Yes. And twist left. Now we're going to add on a little bit. So take both arms up as you twist to the right with long arms. Come center, two hands to the thighs. The knees will move naturally here. Both arms up, open to the left. Two hands to the thighs, gentle bend to the knees. Let's go back to the right. And down to the left. And down. We're going right and we're going to stay here now. Turn your gaze towards your right fingertips. Inhale, and as you exhale, keep your body in place and turn just your gaze to the left fingertips. And on your next exhale, turn your gaze back to the right. Lift the arms, bring them to the thighs. Lift up and twist open to the left. Stay here. Gazing toward the left fingertips. Exhale, gaze right. Exhale, come back left. And hands to thighs, and let's shake everything out. All right, are we feeling pretty equal here now? Yeah, okay, good. So we're going to work on our chair while we're here, okay? So go ahead and let's try it with the feet touching. So the toes, the big toes will touch, the heels will be slightly apart, the legs are touching, okay? And we're going to sit the hips back, keep the weight in the heels rather than forward. Take the arms up to shoulder height. Take them up by the ears if that works for you. Now press through the feet, lift up, inhale. Bend your knees and hips as you sweep down back into chair. And lift, sweep down, back into chair. Lift, sweep down, come into chair. Now we're going to stay here. Make sure your weight is in your heels, and we pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sweep up, sweep down, and come into your deepest chair yet. All right, stand tall and shake it out. Whew. All right, let's come to the back of the mat and work on Warrior One. So we're going to be stepping forward in Warrior One instead of back, so we use the muscles a little differently for this. Okay, so your feet are hip width distance apart. Starting with the right foot, take a big step forward. Turn your left foot in at an angle. Turn towards your right leg. Right knee is over the right ankle. Back foot is grounded. You're facing towards your right leg. Now lengthen the spine as you sweep your arms by your ears here. And we're going to start to lift up, keeping the length in the spine. As soon as you start losing the length in your spine, just come back to where your spine was nice and long. Inhale and exhale. Okay, we're going to move this now, so bend the elbows. As you draw your arms up, straighten your front leg. Bend the elbows, front knee bends. Straighten. Bend. Straighten. Bend. Straighten. And step back. Big step back. There you go. Let's go ahead. Big step forward with the left foot. Right foot spins at an angle. Left foot is grounded. Turn towards your left leg. Lengthen the spine as you take your arms by your ears. Start to lift up. As long as you keep your spine long, you keep going. When you dump into your lower spine, you come back to where that wasn't happening. Bring your elbows down. Lift, straighten the leg. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and step back. And release, shake it out. Whew. All right, one more time for that. Let's go ahead. Big step forward with the right foot. Spin the left foot down, bend that knee. Face your right leg. Length through the spine. Warrior one here. Elbows down. We go up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now, go ahead and spin your back heel up and then step back. That probably feels a little more natural than with the heel down. See which version you like better. Okay, so let's go ahead and step forward with the left foot. Coming into warrior one on the left. We're facing the left leg. Arms by the ears. Nice long spine here. Elbows down. We go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up and hold. Spin your back heel up and step back. Yeah, all right. Okay, so now find mountain pose at the back of your mat, and we're going to start working our way down. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, swan dive over your hip creases, straight legs. High, low, anywhere in between. Bend the knees and hips, take a half lift, sink it down, fingers to the mat, come forward to downward facing dog. And start to walk your dog, bend one knee and then the other. Press one heel down and hold. Press the other heel down and hold. Massage those feet while you're at it. Press both heels down and hold. And then bring your knees down, sit off to the side, and find seated mountain pose. The spine is long. Inhaling and exhaling. All right, take a few breaths here and then shake things out. Okay. All right, so we're going to do a nice little core set, and then we're going to do the Supta Hasta Padangusthasana. So if your strap is not nearby, go ahead and grab it. I forgot to mention that. Have the strap nearby. Okay. And we'll start with some boat here. Okay. So sitting up nice and tall, feet to the mat. Square your feet, right? We want the feet to stay grounded as we do our boats. Engage your core, long spine, arms are forward. Now start to sit back until you feel your core challenge point here. And then come up and back to core challenge. Up and back. And sit up. Okay, we're going to add legs now, so go ahead and take your right knee up, arms forward. We're in half high boat on the right. Plant that left foot, keep it nice and strong here, and take it low boat. Too high. Low. Too high. low, too high, low, too high, and release. Whew. And rock those knees out. Ready on the left leg up. Okay, so you can work with 2 feet down at any time if that feels better to you. Arms are forward, left knee up. High boat on the left, low, too high, low, too high, low, too high, and low, too high, and release, shake it out. Anybody starting to feel that? Is the core starting to wake up here? Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and try it with 2 legs. We'll try it, and you can always go back to single leg if that suits you better. So we're balancing here. We've got both knees up, and we release the hands. Here we go, low, too high, low, too high, low, and up. One more, low, and up. And release, shake it out. All right, so that was a little bit of a core wake up, I would say, right? Let's try something with the knee up for the obliques. So we're going to take the right knee up. We're going to take the left hand and put it outside the right leg. Take your right arm forward and just draw that right arm back. Come forward, release, take the left knee up. Right hand outside the left leg, left arm forward, open to the left, we're leaning into it a bit. Come back and down. All right, so that was the first way we're doing it, and that's a great way. Take your right knee back up again, left hand outside the right knee, right arm back. Now release your left arm if you want to. And come back, left knee up, right hand outside of the left leg, take your left arm back, release your left arm, and come back to center, okay? So we do a lot of this, right? This is a knee up version of that, a little more challenging. All right, so we're going to take the right knee back up, and this time, take both arms forward and lean back into it and come up. Left knee up, lean, and come up and release. All right, so let's do one of those, okay? So the right knee up, left hand outside the right leg, okay? You could do it this way and open up. You could do it open 2 arms at once. Ready? Open up. If that left hand is still on the right leg, release it, bring it in. Is that making sense? You're kind of choosing your own adventure here. Left leg up, right hand outside of the left leg, open up, stay here, or release. And bring it in. And one more time, right knee up. This time we're just going to open both arms as an option, bring it in, left knee up, open both arms as an option, bring it in, and shake things out. Okay, did you feel that? Anybody? Felt that? Okay, so let's get ready for Supta Hasta Padangusthasana. We're going to take the strap. Remember, as we go through the moves, the leg is doing the work, not the strap, okay? All right, so let's lay down. Bring your right knee in. Put the strap around the ball of your right foot and take your right leg straight up. Right now, the left foot is grounded. The left knee is pointing straight up. Flex your right foot. We're holding one end of the strap in each hand. And gently breathe those right toes back. Release. Let's do that again. Gently breathe those right toes back. And release. release. Now take both ends of the strap in your right hand, take your left arm out from the shoulder and start to open your right leg to the right. You want your left hip to stay grounded, so if that means the leg comes out 15 degrees, fine. If it comes out 45, if it comes out more, this is all you and your body, but keep your left hip grounded. And now here's what I mean by not the strap. Use the muscles of your leg to draw your leg back up to center. It would be very easy to just tug it up with the strap, wouldn't it? But we're using the leg muscles. Put both ends of the strap in your left hand, right arm out from your shoulder, and let that right leg come just past the belly button. Now we're feeling the IT band here. The right hip is still grounded. Now we'll extend the left leg any amount and let that right leg continue over to the left. The hip comes up, but the right shoulder stays grounded. Your gaze goes towards your right fingertips. And then once again, we're using the leg and not the strap to draw the right leg back up to center. Take one end of the strap in each hand, flex your right foot. Breathe that right leg back towards you and release. Breathe the leg towards you. You can give a gentle assistance with the strap. Don't tug. Pay attention to what your body is telling you to do here. And release. Go ahead, bend the right knee. Put the left foot now in the strap. Right foot stays grounded, left leg up. Flex your right foot. Breathe those toes back. And release. Once again, breathe the toes back. And release. Put both ends of the strap in your left hand, right arm out. And we're going to let that left leg start to open to the left. Keep your right hip grounded. Okay, so we want that left leg to go out, but only as much as it can, keeping the right leg grounded. We don't want to do this to try and get the left leg lower. And now using the muscles in your leg, bring your left leg back up. The strap is just decorating the foot here. It's not doing the work. Take both ends of the strap in your right hand, left arm out to the left. Flex your left foot if it got unflexed, and let that left leg come just past the belly button. Now straighten your right leg and let the left leg come over to the right as much as it's willing to. Your left shoulder is still grounded here. And then use the strength of your leg to draw the strap back up. Take one end of the strap in each hand. Guide that left leg gently back and release. Guide the leg back. And release. Bend your left knee. Remove the strap and put it off to the side. Bend your knees and bring your feet to the mat. Let your knees open and close here. Little butterfly wings. All right, so that's a great hip opener. We're going to do more for the front hip flexors though as we go through practice. So come on to hands and knees now. And let's work our arms, so knee down plank push up, hips toward heels. Now the other thing about hips toward heels is please point your toes behind you. Let's all sit up on the knees for a moment. When you point your toes behind you, you're getting a nice stretch for the tops of the ankles and the shins, and that's kind of important because the feet spend their day this way, and now we're lengthening in the other direction. So just keep that sensation in mind. Okay, let's come into a knee down plank. This could always be knees up if you want. Notice when the feet are pointed behind you, you're getting a nice stretch at the top of the ankle and through the shin. Do a little push up here and heels, hips toward heels. Come on, up, plank, push up, and hips toward heels. And let's just keep going through that. You can do knee up or knee down plank. And the next time your hips are back, instead of going straight into child's pose, start to lift up. If you can keep your hips down towards your heels, fine. If this is too much for the knees, lift up a bit, but we're still working on that stretch in the front of the shins here. It probably doesn't feel that great, okay, because we're just not used to doing this. And let's go ahead now and find child's pose. So it's just a little extra stretch for the shins and the front of the ankles. We're also getting some of that stretch when we do child's pose here, so that's good. And then start to make your way to downward facing dog. Find a nice even 4-point downward facing dog. Pressing through the heels. Find some nice peace and balance here in your down dog. And take any journey that you like as you bring your feet to your hands. When you get there, hands to your thighs, half lift, forward fold. Float the arms out and up, palms touch. Hands come heart center. And we release. Okay, so remember when we were doing Warrior 1, okay, and we were going up and down, we're going to, in our sun salutation, be coming into Warrior 1. So come to the top of your mat. Take a few breaths here. Find mountain pose. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, swan dive. Take a half lift. Bend the knees and hips. Bring the fingertips down. Take your right leg back. We're going to enjoy this lunge for a moment. Now spin your back heel down. Keep your left knee over your right ankle and come up into Warrior 1. Bring your hands down and find your way to plank, knees up or down, chaturanga. All right, we're going to be doing bows. So if you usually use a strap to grab your ankle, go ahead and make sure you have your strap handy, okay? Bow is like a baby dancer if you're standing up. You'll have one hand on the chair. Bend your right knee. Take your left arm parallel, your left forearm parallel to the front of your mat. And then press through your forearm, lift your heart, bring your right hand back. See if you can find your right ankle. Yeah, now flex your right foot. There you go. Oh. So remember I said we were going to be working the front hip flexor. This is half bow. That definitely starting to do that. Okay, press your foot into your hand. Press your forearm, left forearm into the mat and release. Let's go half bow on the other side. Right arm is parallel to the front of the mat. Left knee bends. Reach around. Find your left ankle. You can use a strap here to extend the arm. Okay? Press your right forearm into the mat. Lift your heart. And press your left ankle toward your left hand. Get that nice stretch. And release. All right, let's find downward facing dog from here. Come on up. And that helps to, what we just did, the bow helps to relieve the hips from this. When we sit, the hips are in this direction. What we just did brought them in this direction. So now we're in downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. We're going to take the right leg up, take a big step forward, spin your back heel down, and come into warrior one. So just arrange. You might need to move your feet wider apart, whatever you need to do. Come into warrior one. Great, and then we just step forward. Okay, so stepping forward might be a little easier than stepping backward was, right? So we started with the bigger challenge of stepping backwards. Okay, ready on the left? Any questions? Okay, you might do double bow. If you do double bow, then when we come into our back bend, you'll do double bow. Otherwise, we're going to do single bow again. Okay, is everybody good with that? You have a strap if you need it. Okay, here we go. Mountain pose. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, swan dive right over those hip creases. Shine your heart forward, half lift. Sink the hips down, hands down, step back left, lunge. Bring your left heel down, keep the right knee over the right ankle, coming into your warrior one. All right, hands down, we're going plank. Knees up or down, chaturanga. Getting ready for bow. So if you do full bow, bend both your knees, reach around, grab both your ankles. Otherwise, we're going to take the right forearm parallel to the top of the mat, bend the left leg, reach around, find your left ankle. Press your forearm into the mat, lift your heart, half bow, left leg. Release. If you're doing full bow, you can release or play around with it. Take your left forearm parallel to the front of the mat. Bend your right knee. Right arm comes back. Find that ankle. Lift. And release. Okay, so that was a lot of back bending. Make a pillow with your hands. Bend your knees. Otherwise, put your hands on the chair and walk back and wiggle your hips side to side. If you're on the floor, you're going to send your legs side to side. Come back to center. Find downward facing dog. All right, we're going to take a few breaths here, and the main thing we want to think about right now is lengthening the spine. So go ahead and bend your knees, press your tailbone back and up to where the wall and the ceiling meet, and then drop your heels as much as possible. So we're really focused on the length of the spine here, just letting it release. Take your left leg up now, take a big step forward, spin your right heel down, arrange your legs, and come into warrior one. And then step forward, find mountain pose. And breathe. All right, let's go ahead and shake things out. So that was a lot of strength, a lot of strong moves, and this first part of our practice, which is the majority of the practice, has been strong moves. So now we're going to loosen things up a little bit and just calm things down. All right, let's start with some brush hands. So take your feet wider than mat width. Take your hands up, and then as you bend your knees and the knees go over the toes, your hands go down like you're brushing down a wall and up a wall. This is meant to be relaxing, so think about that. Loosening up, right? We're just moving the hips gently, moving the shoulders gently. So don't let any of this be intense. Just keep it relaxed, keep the breath flowing. All right, the next time your arms come up, exhale your hands to your hips. Now turn your left toes in at an angle, turn your right toes to the right. We're going to bend the right knee, bring the hands up, and brush hands down over the right leg and up. And brush down and up. And just find some movement here that feels good to you. And one more time. And then come to center with all 10 toes out and down and up 4 times, brushing hands to center. And then bring your hands to your hips and set up for brush hands on the left. The right foot's at an angle, left toes are forward. Bring it up and float over your left leg and up, down and up. Whatever feels good to you to do here. One more, and then take it back to center, and 4 brush hands to center. And then when you're done, step back to mountain pose. And let's try mountain pose with our big toes touching and our legs touching. Nice and tall here. Inhale and exhale. See if you can feel everything lined up. Feel the energy moving through you. And breathe. So we're going to keep it soft now, even as we come into Warrior Two. The legs are super wide for Warrior Two. Right toes to the right, left toes in at an angle. Hips are level. Bend your right knee over your right ankle. Shoulders over hips. Arms out from the shoulders here. Arms are in line with the shoulders. Good. We're gazing past the right fingertips. Now we take the gaze to the left. Follow that left hand around as it meets the right. Brush the fingertips up the right arm, across the chest. Keep following the left fingertips, open back up. So archer, let's do that again. The gaze stays to the left fingertips. They come all the way over to the right. They brush all the way across the body, back open to the left. And one more time, archer. And this time, stay open with your gaze to the left. Now, without moving anything but your head, turn your gaze to the right. Turn all 10 toes forward, bring your hands to your heart, and come into a half forward fold, or higher. If you don't want to go all the way into half, stay higher. Okay? Inhale and exhale. And then come on back up, draw your fingertips up toward the sky, bring your hands down and step your feet together any way that works well for you. Okay, we're going warrior two on the left, the legs are wide again, the left toes go to the left, right toes in at an angle, left knee over the left ankle, the knee is also headed straight through the center of the left foot. Shoulders over hips, arms long. We're gazing to the left, warrior two. Gaze to the right, follow the right hand. Archer. Keep your gaze to your right hand as you move through archer 2 more times. And after your last archer, you stay open, first with your gaze to the right, and then turning just your head as you gaze to the left. Turn your toes forward, bring your hands to your heart. Come into forward fold, and then release and do whatever feels good to you in this forward fold. So your hands might be on the mat, your hands might be on your thighs. You could be high, you could be low. Just go ahead and move around. And let's involve the head here, nodding yes, nodding no. Always ending on a yes. Come back to center. Bring your hands to your hips and slowly make your way back up, even stopping halfway, just to catch your breath for a moment. Press through the feet and find a way to get your feet closer together. Step, hop, however you like to do that. Shake things out, move around. Let's find mountain pose. Let's do it with the legs close together again. Palms forward. Feel the feet grounded. Feel the breath moving easily through your body. And then just start to release. Go ahead and your body from head to toe, scan it, move it around, do whatever it's asking you for. Look around your space, see if there's anything you want to have with you as we come down to the earth. So once we're finished moving around, we will meet at the top of the mat. Okay. I think everybody has a block, so why don't we go ahead and grab a block. We'll do a Viparita Karani and a little supported back bend. Okay, so let's go ahead and find mountain pose at the top of the mat here. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, swan dive over your hip creases. Go as high or low as you want. Bend at the knees and hips. Half lift, sink it down. Fingertips to the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. And then go ahead and bring your knees down, sit off to the side, and find seated mountain pose. Inhaling and exhaling. All right, let's shake things out and come into a couple of soft forward folds. So just draw those arms up and just melt. Roll your hands up your legs one more time. Nice and soft, melt over those legs. And come on up. So grab your block as long as we have them. Let's use them. Right now, bend your knees and put the block in between your thighs. Now hold on to your hamstrings. Now release your arms forward and slowly roll down. You're placing your spine on the mat, one vertebra at a time. And that block is keeping your legs in a great position. Inhale and exhale. All right, now we have the block here. Let's do some rolling back bends. So your hands are down by your side. You're going to keep that block in between your thighs. Exhale. And as you inhale, roll your pelvis up. Start to lift your hips. Arms come behind you. Roll the spine back down from top to bottom, hands by your side. If you need to move your feet closer or farther away, please do that as we roll again. And roll down. Roll up. And roll down. Now take the block out from in between your legs, and we're going to pretend it's still there. Okay, so your knees aren't going to buckle in or flap open. Bring your heels close to your hips. Press through the feet and lift your hips and slide that block on its lowest edge. Slide it underneath you. And here we are in a supported back bend. Think about those thighs, right? Think about if you still had a block there, what would your thighs be doing? They wouldn't be doing this, right? So think about that. Now you're perfectly welcome to stay here. If you get migraines or if you have any eye issues, this is a great place to stay. If that does not describe you, or even high blood pressure, keep your feet down. You can lift one leg and then the other straight up for Viparita Karani, legs up the wall. We have the hips lifted now, so that's bringing a huge amount of blood to the head, and that's why the things I was mentioning are contraindications for doing this pose. So if you're happy in Viparita Karani, great. If you start to feel too much pressure in the head, bring your feet down. We'll take a few breaths here. The blood is having an opportunity to go reverse of the direction it usually goes. Now we'll bend the knees, bring the feet to the mat. Think about those thighs again as we lift the hips off the block, remove the block, and slowly replace the spine onto the mat. Put your block off to the side. Just going to stay here with the spine in neutral, and while we're here, we'll open the fingers wide. Make a fist. Open, make a fist. So the fingers are the only things right now that's moving. Well, all the muscles of your arms are actually participating here. And then rotate the wrists one direction and the other. Bring your hands down. Okay, so now the spine should be back to neutral position. If it's not, stay here for a couple more breaths if anything doesn't feel right to you. Otherwise, extend your arms long and your legs long. Inhale. Exhale, draw the knees in. Put your hands on your knees. We're going to make some circles here. Press the knees away, to the right, in, and to the left. And keep going circles in that direction. Now pause with your knees in, and we'll go circles the other direction. Press away, to the left, in, and to the right. And then hold both knees in, bring your feet to the mat, bring your hands down by your side. Inhale and exhale. All right, so we're going to take the right knee in, hold on to the shin or the hamstring, and let that right leg open out to the right and back to center. Now come back to center, take your right ankle across your left thigh, flex your right foot, draw the legs in towards you, and move those legs side to side, forward and back. Make a circle one direction and the other. Come back to center now and take your left leg up, point and flex the left foot. Circle the left ankle one direction and the other. And then release, unwind 2 feet to the mat. Inhale and exhale. Left knee comes in, hold shin or hamstring. Let that left leg come out to the left and back to center. Okay, and now come back to center. Take your left ankle across your right thigh. That left foot is flexed. Draw the legs in towards you. Take the legs from side to side. Forward and back. Circle. Circle the other way. Come back to center. Now take your right leg up. Point and flex. Circle the ankle, one direction and the other. And then release, unwind 2 feet to the mat. Let your knees gently open and close here. Okay. If you like reclined cobbler's pose, this would be a good time to come into that. Otherwise, just keep your knees bent, your feet flat on the mat, your arms by your side, and let your head gently turn right to left. All right, come back to center now. Scan your body. See if any final movements or realignments are being called for. Move around until you feel like you are in a comfortable position for your final relaxation. And when you get there, inhale through the nose. Slowly exhale. Release your body onto the earth and just be. Begin to bring your awareness back to your space. Invite a deeper breath. Gently bring movement back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And on your inhale, extend everything long. Exhale, draw your knees in, give yourself a hug. Find your way over to a side. And coming back up to a nice, easy seat. As you turn your gaze to your own good heart and your bright spirit, thank and honor yourself for your practice, and we thank and honor each other for sharing this time. Namaste.